Today, we're unveiling a powerful spiritual secret that's accessible to everyone. Salt. This simple mineral, found in every kitchen, holds transformative energy that's been used for centuries for protection, purification, and prosperity. Get ready to discover how salt can be a profound spiritual tool, able to repel negative energy, attract blessings, and even change the course of your life. Ready to explore this mystery and understand how to use it? Stay with us until the end, and let's embark on this journey of power and transformation together. Have you ever thought about how a simple crystal of salt can become a spiritual ally? Let's understand what makes salt so special, and learn ways to use it in our daily lives to protect our home, our energy, and maybe even attract blessings into our lives. Let's dive in. In many spiritual traditions, salt is seen as an essential element connecting the physical and spiritual worlds. Far more than a simple seasoning, it carries profound meanings and has an energy that can transform, purify, and protect. Its crystalline structure is associated with the ability to absorb negative energies, cleanse spaces, and guard those who use it with intention. Salt also has a transformative function. In many cultures, it's used to create a protective field around people and spaces, warding off dense energies and raising the place's overall vibration. Salt is a spiritual ally, a mineral that connects us to the sacred and divine, bringing more peace, security, and prosperity into our lives. The history of salt in spiritual rituals goes back thousands of years, with the mineral considered a symbol of purification, preservation, and spiritual commitment across various cultures. In ancient Egypt, salt was used mainly in mummification rituals. To them, salt was an element capable of preserving not just the body but the soul, ensuring a safe journey in the afterlife. This use shows that salt was seen as more than a physical preservative. It had a spiritual significance for preserving the essence. It was a valuable spiritual resource to keep the soul whole, connected to the sacred even after death. In the Bible, salt appears in various passages loaded with symbolism. For example, in Leviticus 2:13, God instructs the use of salt in offerings, saying, "Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. Add salt to all your offerings." Here, salt symbolizes the covenant between God and his people, representing commitment, loyalty, and constancy. In the New Testament, in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus also speaks about salt, saying, "You are the salt of the earth." This phrase reminds us that just as salt preserves and adds flavor to food, each of us has the power to maintain essence, goodness, and truth in the world. Just as salt preserves what is good and pure, we also play an important role in preserving and protecting essential values in our lives and spirituality. In various other traditions worldwide, salt is also seen as an element of protection and purification. In rituals across cultures, spreading coarse salt around a house or along windows and doors is common practice to ward off negative energies and protect the home from harmful influences. In Japanese tradition, salt is used in purification rituals known as misogi, where it's spread in sacred places to ensure that the area is energetically cleansed before a ceremony. All these traditions reinforce salt's symbolism as an element of purification, protection, and purpose. It preserves what is sacred, wards off what is impure, and creates a spiritual barrier of protection. Salt is therefore a sacred mineral, connecting us to the divine and helping us keep our energy and purpose on the right path. Now that we understand the meaning of salt, let's look at 3 practical ways to use it daily for spiritual protection and purification. The first method is environmental purification. Sprinkling coarse salt in the corners of a room is an ancient technique used to ward off negative energies. You can place small portions of coarse salt in the corners of each room, especially where you feel the energy is heavy. This act creates a protective barrier that prevents negative vibrations from entering the space. Over time, it's best to replace the salt, as it absorbs surrounding energies and needs to be renewed to maintain effective protection. The second technique is a salt bath, a practice used to purify our own energy. This bath is ideal for those feeling overwhelmed, drained, or constantly exhausted. To do this, dissolve a handful of coarse salt in warm water and pour it over your body from the neck down, always visualizing the salt cleansing and removing all accumulated negative energy. This bath is a powerful ritual of renewal, and many report feeling refreshed and clearer-minded afterwards. Lastly, salt can be used as a symbol of alliance and commitment in your spiritual life. In traditions like the Judeo-Christian one, salt symbolizes an eternal covenant. You can use salt during prayer moments by placing a small handful on a plate in front of you, focusing on your commitment to your spiritual life and higher forces. This ritual reinforces your purpose and creates a spiritual bond of protection and peace. To show the power of salt in practice, here are some stories of people who experienced significant changes by incorporating salt rituals into their lives. One woman, facing difficulties in her personal life, decided to perform a purification ritual with salt in her home. She spread salt around the house and within days, felt the energy of her home had completely shifted. Soon after the ritual, she noticed new opportunities arising and felt her life was in a new positive flow. In another case, a man facing financial troubles used salt in a prosperity ritual. He spread salt in the corners of his home while praying that all blocks in his life would be removed. Shortly after, he found a new job, and his financial situation began to stabilize. These stories are examples of what salt can do in our lives when used with intention and faith. The spiritual power of salt is fascinating, and its ability to protect, purify, and transform is something we can all experience. If you've ever had a positive experience with salt, share your story in the comments. The more stories we share, the more we can inspire and help each other. Remember, salt is a simple yet powerful tool that connects us to the sacred and can bring balance, protection, and peace into our lives. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. See you next time.